Hello, Kentucky. I'm Jonathan Masters. I'm a candidate for Lieutenant Governor. And so some of y'all might be wondering, what exactly does a Lieutenant Governor do? And, I hope that's what you guys are wondering. Because you're going to make an important decision, right? We have an electoral decision, electoral revolution. There's 5 of the 7 statewide executive office candidates are open seats, so the office is a free-for-all. So that's 5 out of 7. That's the majority. That's a revolution. So we're going to have a completely new leadership, Kentucky. We're also going to have, this election is the king of Kentucky, so it's the governor's race. So it's, mas importante by itself, but nationally speaking, it's going to be a litmus test before the 2016 presidential election. So there's 3 governor's races happening right now: Mississippi, Louisiana, and Kentucky. And so, that's we should be able to, kick Mississippi's ass. Louisiana, that's not much better. So Kentucky is really going to be, I think, the leader of the discussion. And so I think it should be a better litmus test. We should have a better discussion than what we've been having. For one, we should have a synthesis of socialism and capitalism. I'm a social capitalist, so there's no reason anybody should starve on our streets. And once life is guaranteed, then it becomes, a competition, then capitalism. So socialism to guarantee life, and then capitalism to, encourage people to become rich. Anyways, Lieutenant Governor, there's 6 statewide boards and 5 interstate boards that I have to attend to. And that's it. That's all I have to do is really go to these boards. I sit in the office. I get $117,000 a year, which is tremendous. But comparatively speaking, there's actually a lot of statewide officials who are not elected who get paid way more than, $100,000. Some of them get paid $3.9 million. A lot of half-millionaires. So the state of Kentucky has been enriching a lot of people. 35,000 employees. So there's 35,000 employees who are dependent upon the tax dollars of that Frankfurt collects. So, all I have to do, there's 11 different boards, and I'm going to talk about each of the boards quickly. But I want to mention that, that's all you have to do. So if you are asking who is qualified to, go to an office, well, all you have to do is just go to just go to a meeting. I can go to meetings, there's going to be a meeting at 6 p.m. in this room, and actually I'm only constitutionally obligated to go to the meeting, so I can just go there and just, fall asleep. Hey, I was there, I attended, but, I wouldn't do that. I would advocate for the things that I believe in at each one of these boards. So, I would have some things that I would want. Other people have different things. So you just kind of, have that deliberative, that discussion. And so the 5 statewide boards and 5 interstate ones. So there's 5 specifically Kentucky boards, and then there's 5 boards which several states are a part of, and which are they're all pretty neat. Okay, so the first one so when I become the Lieutenant Governor, I would be the Vice Chairman of the State Property Buildings Commission, the SPBC. The SPBC issues majorly expensive revenue bonds to provide financing for capital construction projects and financing programs approved by the General Assembly. So the Vice Chairman of the State Property and Buildings Commission. So any of the new projects that are constructed, I would think actually UK just got $135 million. So they would have had to have been approved by the State Property and Buildings Commission because they approved the revenue bonds, $135 million. That's a huge chunk of change compared to the Labor Cabinet, which only makes $5 million. They should have $20 million in their coffers, but $135 million for a research building. The vice chairman, I guess they would have to get a majority vote, and there is, vice chairman. I don't know. It's not the chair, so you're not the one who sets the agenda, but you're like off to the side. So it's, based upon your own charisma and your own energy. Again, vice chairman of the Kentucky Turnpike Authority, so that's the second board that I have to sit on. The KTA's purpose is to construct, acquire, finance, and operate major Kentucky road systems for the benefit of the traveling public. So the Kentucky Turnpike Authority, I am in charge of turnpikes. They used tolls. It was actually kind of fascinating. Within 20 years, I was able to pay for the road from Elizabethtown to Louisville, I want to say. And so they've been able to, pay with tolls, and it took about 20 years. But I'm 100% against tolls. I think talk about a regressive tax that directly, taxes the working class people who need to drive in order to get a job. And it's double taxation. They're already using our public money for transportation and road cost, and now they're going to tax us as we're driving too. So we're getting taxed twice. I will say I'm 100% against toll roads. Fuck the toll roads. Definitely not in favor of those. So, as the vice chairman of the Kentucky Turnpike Authority, I would have some influence on that. I would make sure there would be no toll roads. They keep on trying to push the toll roads in the Brent Spence and Cincinnati and Louisville. We got to find other means. We got to find other ways in order to pay for that. That is not going to be the. It's not going to be with tolls. Not my vote, and hopefully I can convince other people to believe what I believe. I would also be a member of the Kentucky Council for Agriculture. This is a big council. I'm kind of a little confused about it. It looks like there's a private entity out there that's the Council for Agriculture. The Commissioner of Agriculture is the one who chairs, the real Council of Agriculture. So I think I'm on the board with the Commissioner of Agriculture. And there's also, it's like 16 farmers, like regular people, are also on the board too. So talk about agricultural issues. What are the plans? What do you want to do? With Kentucky's agriculture. So I'd be a member, one voting member. Number 4, appoint one member to the Public Officials Compensation Commission, POC, the POC Commission. Appoint one member of the Public Officials Compensation Commission, provided KRS. This board probably has to do with how much the public officials get paid, right? Public Officials Compensation Commission. I appoint somebody. I would choose one morally and ethically exceptional person by a merit-based application process. No nepotism would happen in a young master's administration, and that's the way I would appoint the member to the Public Officials Compensation Commission. I'd be a member of the Kentucky Housing Corporation. It's a self-supporting public corporation, provides affordable housing. So I'd be part of giving houses to the homeless. It's one of actually my biggest core issues anyways. You have 22 empty houses for every single homeless person out here. We can put the homeless inside these houses. They would improve the houses and give them some place to live. So we're actually killing two birds with one stone. And it's progressive. It's progress. It's making things better. So I don't see a problem with all you need is someone just to kind of coordinate, just to connect the dots, and someone just has to give a shit, right? That's all they need to do. Remember the Housing Corporation Board, right? I could do that. It was created in 1972 by the General Assembly, a state housing agency, affordable housing opportunities. So that's affordable housing. So I could also probably help with first-time home or just loans and different things, informational, things. Anybody who wants to buy a home, not just poor people, but all people, right? Not just homeless, but middle-class people. They need to find where the good houses are too. So member of Kentucky Mining Advising Council, and also the home ownership. That's the American dream. Everybody should own their own home. Okay, I'd be a member of the Kentucky Mining Advising Council, so that seems pretty important. There's an Interstate Mining Compact, actually. So I put this under, it's Kentucky Mining Advising Council, but there's, I guess, several mining compacts. Right, I'm a member of that board, the Kentucky Mining Advising Council Board, too. The Interstate Boards, the Southern Growth Policies Board. It's the Southern Growth, it's kind of self-explanatory. The Southern Growth Policies Board is just a bunch of southern states who want to expand our economy and make our economy better. So it's Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So 13 southern-ish states. Oklahoma seems pretty out west, but all right. So these are the Southern Growth Policies Board members, and so I'd be a part of this group. And I would definitely spread cannabis gardens. I would like to see a renaissance in Kentucky, a cultural revolution. So I would like to see, lots of cannabis gardens in people's front and backyards, victory gardens, right? And then also want to see solar panels. I want to see everybody having solar panels on top of their roof tops. I want to see everybody sort of inventing and tinkering, be a bunch of little Teslas, and discuss how to make things better, new inventions and ideas. I want to see an explosion of culture. I want to see a renaissance, a bluegrass renaissance. So that's the Southern Growth Policies Board. Just in general, just how do you make them, the economy grow? The Breaks Interstate Park Commission. I'm just going to rattle off what these are and then come back to their explanation. Just so I'm under 15 minutes, I don't want this to go on forever. So it's the Breaks Interstate Park Commission. There's a park in the interstate, Falls of the Ohio Interstate Park. So one's in Louisville, the other one is in Pike County, I believe. And the Tennessee Tom Big B Waterway Development Board, there's a big waterway that goes through Tennessee and Alabama, and some reason, I don't know if it hits Kentucky or something, but I'll be on the Tennessee Tom Big B Waterway Development Board and the Interstate Water Sanitation Control Commission. Okay, so that rounds up all the boards, the 11 boards that I need to, show up to, and either take a nap or advocate for my beliefs. Seems like if you're there, why not just advocate for your beliefs? So the Breaks Interstate Park Commission, it's a bi-state park located in southeastern Kentucky and southwestern Virginia in the Jefferson National Forest at the northeastern terminus of Pine Mountain. It is administered by the states of Virginia and Kentucky and is one of the several interstate parks of the United States. The Breaks, also referred as the Grand Canyon of the South, is the deepest gorge east of the Mississippi, through which the Russell Fork River and Clinchfield Railroad, now the CSX Transportation Kingsport subdivision, run. It is accessed via Virginia State Route 80 between Hayseed, Virginia and Elkhorn City, Kentucky. So Elkhorn City passes through the community of Breaks, Virginia, east of the park, and American frontiersman Daniel Boone is credited with being the first person of European descent to discover the Breaks. First white guy to discover the Breaks, right? So that's important, I guess. And he saw it in 1767. It's located about 5 miles east of Elkhorn City in Pike County. The park covers 4,500 acres. The park's main feature, Breaks Canyon, is 5 miles long and ranges from 830 to 1,600 feet. The canyon was formed by the Russell Fork Road, and that's it. So the Breaks Interstate Park Commission. And then the Falls of the Ohio Interstate Park. So just running a park. You're on some committee that runs a park. I feel like a park is pretty cheap. Just make sure it's all mowed. In fact, you could have like events and try to, beef it up a little bit. I've never heard of these parks until I actually started researching, the duties of the lieutenant governor. So they've done a bad PR. To date, they have not told the public, about these things. Falls of the Ohio Interstate Park. So there's another park. It's a compact between Ohio and Kentucky. So I don't know. There's a park. I guess we have to just maintain it. So cut the grass there. Maybe have some hiking trails, right? Have a museum. Sell the Falls of the Ohio T-shirts. There's a lot of different things that you can go there. Lots of different directions. Just be creative, right? Go think about the things. Get a better sense. Talk to the members that are on it now. And see, continue the good things and see if what types of changes would need to be made for each one of these. Seems like it'd be kind of self-explanatory. It won't make its own money, but I would assume the state government would give it a budget, and so just hiring a guy to mow the lawn and keep it the upkeep, make sure it's maintained. Tennessee Tom Big B Waterway Development Board. It's it's a man-made waterway, extends from the Tennessee River to the junction of the Black Warrior Tom Bigby River system near Demopolis, Alabama, United States. The Tennessee Tom Bigby Waterway links commercial navigation from the nation's midsection to the Gulf of Mexico. This major features of the waterways are 10 locks and dams, a 175-foot deep cut between the Tom Bigby River watershed and the Tennessee River watershed, and 234 miles of navigation channels. The 10 locks are 9 by 110 by 600 feet, the same dimension as the locks on the Mississippi, under construction for 12 years by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The Tennessee Town Bigby Waterway is completed in December 1984 at a total cost of nearly $2 billion. Tennessee Town Bigby encompasses 17 public ports and terminals, 110,000 acres of land, another 88,000 acres managed by state conservation agencies for wildlife habitat preservation and recreational use. Although supported by Southern congressmen, the Tennessee Town Bigby Waterway was widely criticized at its creation as an example of exorbitant pork barrel spending. However, in succeeding years, it's become an example of government investment on infrastructure yielding economic benefits over time. So, yes, I'm in favor of the Tennessee Town Bigby Waterway. The interstate water sanitation along river basins. We got to make sure we're not just putting all of our shit into the water. It's how you spread cholera. And when people start drinking shit water, you don't want to drink shit water. That's how you get cholera. Okay, so don't drink shit water. Someone said something about in the olden days when they traveled, they'd rather travel with alcohol because water was easier to contaminate. Alcohol kills the germs and viruses, and so it's be careful with your water. Be careful with your water. That's it's a vital resource, but you don't want to get cholera. So those are the boards, right? Yeah. So that's it. 6 statewide boards and 5 interstate boards. That's those are the boards I got to attend as lieutenant governor. That's the constitutional duty of it. I think that the lieutenant governor could be so much more. It could be a cheerleader. It could be an ambassador for the governor. I would love to drive around Kentucky just to kind of see what everybody's up to, make sure everything's running smoothly. If anybody has any comments or concerns, I'd be there to listen. So I'd have an open door policy. I would start a citizen complaint authority for citizen complaints. And like I said, about anything and everything. So, would document, I'd have probably a budget, my $119,000 that enables me to hire a couple people just out of my own pay. Then if I have a budget, I could hire a couple more people to work on initiatives. One of my biggest economic initiatives that I would like to see happen, just because the logic, the common sense of it, is a Swedish trash to electricity program. And they are doing, in Sweden right now, they're taking people's trash and they're making electricity out of it. Who would be, against this? No, I guess the landfill monopoly, the landfill conglomerate, the landfill industrial complex. So, sorry, landfill people, I will be putting you out of business. So, but fuck you. You're sitting there putting trash in our earth, and that's not very healthy. Styrofoam, that should be there forever. And so yeah, the trash to electricity, there's no downsides to it. It takes your garbage, it takes your waste, and it turns it into something valuable, electricity, into energy. And we all could use cheaper energy. Electric cost, being in a coal state, we're supposed to have cheaper electric. My electric is the exact same price as the average, American. So I don't have cheaper electricity, and I live in Kentucky. So, Kentuckians, Democrats, go vote May 19th, 2015. If you're already, it doesn't matter. There's no more new registration, so it's only people who are registered to be Democrats right now. If you're not a registered Democrat, then, don't go vote. And make sure nobody else, get people, if you're not registered or if you're Republican and you vote for me, you could get someone else to vote for me. And that's basically the same thing. So you could convince a registered Democrat to vote for me. Okay. Peace out. Occupy. Revolution. Viva la Revolution, Kentucky.